Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is General Mathematics video lesson recording for Module 2 Rational Functions, lessons 1 to 3, and just a little bit of review from the last video lesson that we had. Actually, we had a meeting, no? Nagklase tayo, online class, about key concepts of functions. We talked about what is a relation, how to represent relations, the importance of knowing relations, and how a function is also a relation, but a special kind of a relation. And also, we distinguished if a given set of relation is a function or if it is not a function. Also, we reviewed some of the basic functions that we know, like linear function, quadratic functions, piecewise function, what else? Absolute function, and other functions that we discussed in the module. And we also solved for piecewise functions because just a quick review as well, piecewise function is just a compound function, and we tried to solve some word problems about piecewise function. And then I hope you watched the video lesson for lesson 2 and 3, which is the evaluation. So yung lesson 2 ng module 1 is evaluation of functions, in which case actually you just have to substitute. Yun lang naman yung point ng lesson na to. Substitute mo lang kung nahanapan mo na yung value ng x or whatever is the value of x, just substitute it onto the formula and calculate and solve as usual. You know, like just solve as usual. Kung paano kayo nagsosolve dati sa algebra, it's the same thing. And then we have lesson 3, which is the operations on functions. And the operations that we discussed are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and composition of functions. For addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, it's just the same, almost the same as the arithmetic basic operations of these 4 functions. But for the division, meron lang siyang isang condition: the denominator should not be the zero function. Because, again, any number, even if this number is a function, any number, any function divided by 0 or the zero function is undefined. Okay? Ang composition naman, just a quick review again, the second function here is going to be the input for the first function. Yun lang naman ang composition. So, for example, if you have function of x is equals to x plus 1, and you have g function of x is equals to 2x. So if you're going to find for the composition of g function of x, this is going to be ito, x plus 1, but this x is going to be this one. So magiging 2x plus 1. Okay? And you cannot solve it any further unless, I think I forgot to kasi what if, for example, hindi ko nabigyan ng example kayo last time, something like this. What if your gx is like this? Paano nyo to siya gagawin? Paano nyo kukunin ang g function of x, g composition of f, no? Paano nyo siya gagawin? It will be like this, no? So i-substitute mo pa rin ito dito. But remember that the x of the g function of x is 4. So you just have to substitute that again. And the final answer would be 2 times 4, 8 plus 1, 9. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so anyway, that is the module 1. Yan yung just a quick review of the module 1. So okay, now moving on to module 2, which is rational functions, looking at your self-learning modules. So the most essential learning competencies or the objective, ano yung mga dapat nyo matutunan sa module na to, are madami, no? So first one is represent real-life situations using rational functions, distinguishes rational function, equation, and inequality. solves rational equations and inequalities. Na doble, sorry, I don't know why. Okay, represents a rational function through its table of values, graph, and equation. Finds the domain and range of rational function, determines the intercepts, zeros, asymptotes of rational functions, and solves problems involving rational functions, equations, and inequality. So maraming kailangan matutunan sa ano na to, no, sa module na to. So anyway, don't worry guys, pagdating natin sa module 7, you will be like, module 5 if I'm not mistaken. Sa logarithmic function ba yun? Sobrang dami, mas madami pa kaysa sa dito. So anyway, just brace yourselves, kumbaga pa. Anyway, so moving on, rational function, from the word rational, you know, matagal na ito, nung high school pa kayo. Sorry, high school pa rin pala kayo hanggang ngayon. But, I mean, nung junior high school kayo, rational function just means there is a fraction part. There is a decimal part. Ganun lang, no? Meaning, there is a fraction. Okay? So, that is the basic meaning of a rational function. So, let's go. Okay. So, by the way, sa sobrang lawak ng module na to, it's going to be divided into 3 parts. So, the first part is going to be lesson 1 to 3. Ito yung itatackle natin today. We are going to discuss representing real-life situations using rational functions and distinguishing rational function, equation and inequality. And kailangan talaga mag-review kayo ng grade 10 ninyo na math and yung module 1. So, sa second part, I will be next week inshallah. And also, the third part, idiretso natin next week inshallah. Okay, so anyway, itong gearing up, please just answer it. I know you can, so wag masyadong ano, no. I know you can do this. Possibly basahin nyo muna yung buong module bago nyo sagutan itong gearing up, because you know, baka kasi may mga part dito na hindi kayo naintindihan, but that's fine. Anyway, so a little review. Rational functions can model a number of real-life situations. Kahit anong mathematical model actually. They are formed because of real-life situations. So one particular example is the help that is extended by the government to the citizen during the time of pandemic. Yung ayuda. Naalala nyo ba yun? Ayuda. Mayroong time na nagbigay ng ayuda ang gobyerno sa citizens. As help, no? Kasi nga, pandemic. Ang daming business na nagsira, ang daming nangyari, walang pera ang mga tao. Okay, so as a response, they provided a particular amount to a certain percentage of the population that can be represented as rational function to determine how much either in cash or kind an individual may receive. Ano yung in kind, di ba? Yung ano, mga pagkain, mga ano, relief goods. Okay, so however, it is not enough that only the government will take part to solve this crisis. Everyone can be part of the solution if we played our role properly. Real-life situations that involve rational functions is mostly seen in economics and science. However, other disciplines also incorporate this concept. So let's go ahead and see for ourselves. For example, we have some examples here. So write a function C that represents the cost of buying ethyl alcohol A if a bottle costs 155 pesos. So 155 pesos daw yung alcohol A. Whatever that alcohol may be, 155 pesos siya kada bottle. Okay. So let's write a function C that represents this one. So how much will you pay depending on the amount of bottles of alcohol na binili mo? So your function would be, of course, something like this, right? Kasi nga, ita-times mo lang naman. You are simply going to multiply the amount or the quantity, I should say, the number of bottles that you purchased times the amount. Okay? Hindi siya piecewise function na meron pang ibang condition. Kasi for example, if the problem said that upon reaching more than 3 ang binili ng ang quantity ng A, ang quantity na binili ng customer, there should be a 50% discount. Okay, for the next bottles. Okay. So magiging piecewise function na siya, no? Kasi aside from this, ito yung first condition, kailangan mong magawa na naman ng another mathematical model for this condition. So it's going to be magiging ganito na ang itsura niya. So, magiging ganyan na siya. Dalawa. At itong sunod, you can model this one by, it's going to be 155. So, i-secure na natin kaagad yung ano, no? Sorry, pangit ng sulat ko. I-secure na natin kaagad itong 3. Kasi magdagdag mo lang tayo or mag-allocate lang tayo ng 50% discount sa bottle number 4, 5, 6 yung pataas, no? So, i-secure na natin itong 3. So, maglagay na tayo kaagad dito ng 155 times 3. Kasi regardless, babayaran niya talaga yung first 3 bottles ng 155, right? So, i-plus na lang natin ito. And whatever is the quantity, so yung A natin, minus 3 times 155. Sorry, 155 times, okay, times 50%, which is 0.5. There you go. So, kung isimplify natin itong mga bagay-bagay na to, 155 times 3, let me use my calculator. 155 times 3, 465, or 65, plus A minus 3. Ito, 155 times 0.5, that is 77.5. And then, distribute lang to, no? Distributive property. So, it will become 465 plus 77.5a minus 77.5 times 3, that is 232.5. And then these are like terms, no? So ano lang natin sila, i-add lang. 77.5a, 465 minus 232.5, so that is, wait lang, 465 minus 232.5. Wow, apparently it's half. Okay, so plus 232.5. So this is your final answer now. Okay, so nagiging piecewise function siya kasi this is the first function and this is the second function. Okay? So just to just to try, for example, ang binili mo na bottles of alcohol, isopropyl alcohol is, let's say 7, for example. So, magkano lahat ang babayaran mo? 77.5 times 7 plus 232.5 is equals to 775 pesos PHP. Okay. So, that is one example of that. Okay, aside from this one, guys, parang nagre-review pa lang tayo ha. Review pa lang ito para maging expert kayo sa functions. So, let's say a commuter pays 20 pesos for a tricycle ride. Ito, halatang ano to, no? Halatang piecewise function. Actually, kung makita nyo guys, andito yung andito yung sagot sa ibaba. But, okay, so anyway, let's just go ahead and solve for this one. So, a commuter pays 20 pesos for a tricycle ride. Grabing tricycle to, 20 pesos. For the first 5 kilometers and an additional 0.75 for every succeeding distance in distance D in kilometer. Represent the situation as a function. So, andito yun actually yung sagot dyan. But the same way actually siya, no? It's a piecewise function. So, sabi niya, 20 pesos daw ang binabayaran. Sorry. 20 pesos first 5 kilometers. Tapos, dagdagan lang ng 0.75 for every succeeding distance. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ang una dito, no, is that pag 5 kilometers lang or less, parang flat rate din ito or less ang na-travel, 20 pesos talaga ang babayaran niya. But the second function is, so, meron ka nang babayaran na 20 pesos para sa, para sa first 5 kilometers. Plus, may babayaran kang 0.75 kada D minus 5. Bakit D minus 5? Kasi nga, itong 5 na bayaran mo na, andito na sa 20 pesos yon. Okay? So, we just have to simplify this. So, 0.75D minus 0.75 times 5. Guys, nag-distributive property ako ha. Baka nalilito kayo somehow, pero nag-distribute lang ako. Gina-distribute ko lang siya. So, negative 3.75. And then, just combine like terms. So, 0.75D is plus, I should say, 20 minus 3.75. So, that is 16.25. That is your second function. Okay. Yep, if D, ano yun? If D is greater than 5. Ito ang magiging function mo. Okay, so anyway, by this review, I hope okay na kayo. So by the way, the table below shows examples of polynomial functions of particular degree together with their names. So kung 0, ibig sabihin wala kang variable dito, 0 yung degree mo. X to the power of 0 is 1. X to the power of 1 is x. X squared is of course x squared. Okay. Just a little bit of review about that. Kaya ito siya, 3 lang ang nakalagay dito. Kasi isipin nyo na lang, yung constant function god, yung degree is equals to 0. It's like this, oh. No? Kaya lang, ito nga na part is equals to 1. So, 3 times 1 is just equals to 3. Okay? So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin ng constant function na yun. How about this one? So, as you can see, negative 2x. Itong mga ganyan kasi guys, automatically meron yan siyang 1 dyan, right? And I know that you know that. And then, ito 2, that is quadratic function. Pag naging ano na, to the degree of 3 cubic function. Pero meron pang mga matataas dyan. We have something like this. We have something like this. We even have something like this. No? Yung mga malalaking functions used in a lot of things pero not what you call this one. It is applied to different fields of study like aeronautics, yung mga ginagawa nila sa NASA, yung mga ginagawa nila sa nuclear weapons, mga sobrang tataas na mga buildings, or maybe a very complicated na structure. So, doon yan gagamitin yung mga ganong klaseng mathematical models. Okay, so, at this point, you may now proceed to the next section kasi nga, naka-review na kayo about functions. So anyway, this one, I would like you to analyze this one, no? Napakadali lang nito actually, and I know you will be able to answer the questions, the 5 questions that follows. Okay, so, at binigay niya rin naman talaga yung sagot sa inyo. So the definition, the formal definition of a rational function is rational, so R, function of x, is a function form. So R, function of x, is just P over x, P function of x, at saka over Q function of x. So, there is a rational part, no? And, such that Q function of x is not the 0 function. Kasi nga, it will be undefined. So, for example, magbigay tayo ng example dito. F function of x is x cubed minus 1 over x plus 1. It is a rational function if and only if x is not equal to 1. Kasi nga, kung x is equals to 1, then, magiging 0 ang kanyang denominator, hindi na siya pwedeng maging rational function. So, it is a rational function if and only if x is not equals to 1. The second example, function of x is equals to 1 over x if and only if x is not equals to 0. This is, again, a rational function, but there's a condition if x is not equals to 0. Okay, so let's try to have some real-life situations wherein rational functions are used. So let's say the local government unit allotted a budget of 100,000 pesos for the feeding program in the daycare center. The amount will be divided equally to all pupils in the daycare center. Write an equation. Okay. So write an equation showing this. So let's say may 10 bata, syempre yung 100,000 i-divide mo by 10. Tama man? So this table actually comes from number of children, and then yung pera na ibibigay sa kanila, so amount for each children. So kung meron kang 10 bata, syempre yung 100,000 di-divide mo by 10, and that is 10,000. Doon mo nakuha yung 10,000. If you have 20 children, syempre yung 100,000 divide mo by 20, and that is 5,000. Okay? So meaning, coming from this, you will get the mathematical model of kunwari, anong ginamit niyang dito, function of x, no? So, ang function of x natin, where x is the number of children, ayan, no? X is number of the children. Kasi yun yung variable natin, eh. Yung 100,000, alam na natin na yan talaga, hindi yan magbabago. Bakit yan na nga yung i-allocate ng gobyerno? Pero yung number of children, yun yung hindi natin alam. Kaya siya yung variable dito sa mathematical model na ito. Okay, so you have 100,000, divided by whatever is the number of the children. Kaya ito yung sagot dyan sa function na yan. That is the there you go, this one. That is the function that represents this situation. By the way, guys, baka magtatanong na naman kayo, teach, paano namin malaman? Paano namin malaman kung anong gagawin? It really is, it depends on how you see things, on how you try and solve things. Kaya I highly recommend, guys, na mag-practice kayo ng ganito. Inductive reasoning and numerical reasoning. So, just to give you an example, no, mas-segue lang ako ng konti. Just to give you an example. So, for example, question number 1. So, itong mga nasa taas, yun yung given. Tapos, itong nasa baba, yun yung choices. So, given sa taas, itong nasa taas, ano sa tingin mo ang kasunod? Yun ang inductive reasoning. You find the pattern and then tell me what's next. Or you predict what's next. Okay? So, hindi lang natin namalayan, guys. Kung mahilig kayo magganito nung bata kayo, nakaka-create siya ng common sense. Nakaka-create siya ng common sense, no? Itong ganitong klase yung mga trabaho. And, hindi nyo lang din namalayan, problem skills ninyo ay nagtaas. I am happy, actually. I'm quite happy na bata pa lang ako, mahilig ako magganito. Kasi nga, yung mga ate ko, nag-review sila for civil service that time. And I used to read the reviewer. At itong part ang gustong-gusto ko, why? Kasi ito lang yung merong pictures. Okay, so anyway. So for example, this is the first, I hope you see the mouse. Okay, so this is the first pattern or figure. This is the second figure. Next one, next one, next one. So ano yung kasunod? Obviously, this one, right? Letter E. Kasi nga, parang umiikot lang naman siya, di ba? It's just alternating the same pictures. Wala pang something new. So, if you click that, tignan natin kung tama tayo. Okay, so we are correct. Alhamdulillah. Number 2. So, what's the pattern? So, obviously, the pattern is that this square thing is nag-iikot-ikot siya in 4 corners of this picture. Hindi naman nagbabago ito, oh, no? Nag-iikot-ikot lang ito siya. So, what is the second or the next tao dito? Oh, by the way, nag-alternate pala itong curve at saka itong bracket. Okay. So, dito na part, dapat, nandito na yung bracket, tapos nandito yung curve, tapos nandito sa baba yung rectangle. Okay. I think ito ba? Tama? Feeling ko ito. Baka mali ako. Okay, anyway. Okay, apparently I'm correct. Okay, next. Merong ganito, guys, na medyo challenging, pero hanapan mo lang talaga siya ng pattern. So, first, tignan niyo yung hexagon. Hexagon. Well, hindi talaga nagbago yung hexagon. Okay. So, hanapan natin ng pattern, yung bilog muna. Obviously, nagbaba siya. Okay, nag-ikot siya. Ang triangle naman na to, ang ginagawa niya lang ay okay, nagbaba taas lang siya, nandito siya sa left corner or sa right corner, upper right corner or lower left corner, yun lang siya. So, ibig sabihin, ang kasunod dapat nito is yung bilog andito na sa taas, tapos ito siyang triangle nandito. So, ito. Right? Okay, alhamdulillah, still correct. And then, the last question, obviously, nag-move lang yung triangle papunta sa loob. Yup. So, I think letter B ang sagot. Okay. So, practice kayo ng ganito, guys, because hanap-hanap kayo sa internet ng inductive reasoning ng mga ano. Because you see, it really, tawag dito, it enhances your problem-solving skills. For example, again, numerical reasoning. No? So, given this table, let's answer the questions. So, number 1, which newspaper was read by a higher percentage of females than males in year 3? And you will be thinking, teach, walang year 3. Year 1, year 2 lang. Okay, ito yung sinasabi nating predicting, no? Mag-predict ka nga. So, anong nangyari? But you also use your logical thinking. Diba? Tama man? So, sabi niya, which newspaper was read by a higher percentage of females than males in year 3. Anong sinabi niya dito? Percentage of adults reading each paper in year 3. Andito pala ang year 3. Okay? So, more than daw dapat. Mas mataas daw dapat ang female. So, you just look. Saan dito sa data ang mas mataas ang female? Apparently, this one, right? Daily Echo. Let's see. Yes, indeed, it is the Daily Echo. So question number 2, what was the combined readership of the Daily Chronicle, the Daily Echo, and the Tribune in year 1? So this is somewhat easy, combined. So i-add mo lang ang nasa Daily Chronicle, 3.6, Daily Echo, 4.8, 3.6 plus 4.8, 14, 8.4, plus the Tribune 1.1, so 9.5, no? Okay, there you go. It is correct. So, dapat marunong kayo mag-analyze ng table, ng figures. This is basic skills talaga, guys, no? So, we are still, guys, nag-segue lang ako konti ha. I'm just really informing you that you should have these skills. This should not be something new to you. Dapat expert na kayo sa mga ganitong bagay. You are senior high school. Okay, so anyway, another figure, no? This is the amount spent on computer imports. As you can see, this is just graphs. These are relation. These are points. Ayan, may coordinate yan. Like for example, this one, this point. Anong coordinate ito? Ang kanyang x ay year 1. Ang kanyang y ay 500. Okay? So, all of these are just points. Okay, so you should know this. Or you should understand this, I should say. So, question number 3. In year 3, okay, tingin ka agad sa year 3. How much more than Italy did Germany spend on computer imports? So, Italy, asan ang Italy? Andito. And this is 700. Okay? Ang Germany naman andito sa taas, and that is 1,400. So what is just the difference? It's just how much more. So it's just looking for the difference. 1,400 minus 700 is 700. So the answer should be 700. And last but not the least, if the amount spent on computer imports in the United Kingdom in year 5 was 20% lower than in year 4, what was spent in year 5? So UK. UK year 4 is 1,004. Pero daw, it's predicting that in year 5, 20% lower ang gagastusin nila kaysa sa year 4. 1,004 times 0.20. Tama man? So, ang gagawin mo is, kunin mo yung 1,004 times 0.20 kasi nga, kukunin mo muna yung 20% niya. So, that is 2, wait lang, let me use my calculator. 1,4 times 0.20. 280. Okay. Ito yung ibinaba niya. Hindi pa ito yung final na sagot. I-minus mo pa ito siya sa 1,400. So, 1,400 minus 280 is equals to 120. This is the answer. So, hanapin mo dito, andito siya. So, if we choose this one, tingnan natin kung tama tayo. Okay, so apparently, it is correct. Okay. However, guys, may shortcut. Ito siya. Ito, no? Itong solution ko dito. That, you can actually do it this way. So, di ba nga, nag-lower siya ng 20%? So, kung gusto mong makuha ito directly, hindi mo na gawin to, just times 1,400 with 0.8. I-times nyo ang 1,4 times 0.8. Yun yung natira, di ba? Kung isipin mo. Kasi nga, binawas mo yung 20%. So, the same answer. 1,120. It's the same as this. Sa kakasolve nyo ng mga ganito, guys, nakakahanap kayo ng sarili nyong shortcut. Doon kayo natututo. Without realizing, maa-apply nyo ito siya sa buhay ninyo. Without realizing, maa-apply nyo ito siya sa mga buhay-buhay ninyo. Okay, so tama na ang segue, teacher Sura. Grabe-grabing segue na. No? Okay, so going back on to your modules. Okay, modules. Dito kasi yan, guys. Just look at this. How will you, coming from this, you will be able to create the function. Yes, of course, you should. Kasi nga dapat naintindihan mo tong table. And I'm sure you do. Okay, so moving on. Moving on, let's go to, I think, another example. Yes. So, suppose a benefactor wants to supplement the budget allotted for each child by donating additional 650. So, meron na naman siyang additional 650 per child. Okay, so, how do we represent HX? So, looking at the table again, ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung ibibigay mo sa bata, dagdagan mo ng 650. So, coming from this, no, ito siya yung original function natin kanina. Pero nga, kada bata, ito ang makuha mo dito, di ba, yung ibibigay kada bata. Pero kada bata nga daw, madagdagan ng 650. So, baguhin mo lang yan siya. Maging ganito lang siya. 100,000 divided by x. Plus, kung ano man yun, dagdagan lang ng 650. That's it. Simple. No? Okay. Next, we have a car is to travel a distance of 70 kilometers. Express the velocity as a function of travel time, t, in hours. That is first. Okay. So, this is the tawag dito, the relationship, no? So, I hope you would be able to realize that it is just being divided into whatever the time is. 70 kilometers daw, no? So 70 divided by 2 is 35. 70 divided by 3 is 23.33. 70 divided by 5 is 14. 70 divided by 10 is equals to 7. So the function is 70 over t. Again, baka magtatanong kayo na, teach, paano mo nalaman? Ayun na nga, i-analyze mo lang siya dito. The same way na nag-analyze kayo dito na part, no? The same way. Mag-analyze lang. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Rational function siya. Again, lahat yan, rational functions. As you can see, merong fraction part. So those are ways that you can represent or use rational functions in real life situations. Maraming papasagutan sa inyo dito. I'm sure nakaka-relate naman kayo sa mga bagay-bagay na to. So, I'm sure you would be able to answer this one. Next, lesson 2 na tayo kaagad. The difference between function, equations, and rational inequalities. So, this one, meron tayong rational expression, equation, inequality, at saka function. So, pag sinabi nating expression, it's just an expression. No? Like for example, pag sinabi mong 2 over 4, that is already a rational expression. Why? Meron siyang terms, meron siyang numerical coefficient, at meron siyang fraction part. This one. No? Yan, meron siyang fraction part. That is already an expression. If we say 2x plus 1 over 2, another rational expression. If we say x over 1 or x over 4, another rational expression. Just that's what you mean by an expression. Okay? So how about an equation? From the word equate, equal. So, dapat merong, let's say, 2x is equals to 2x plus 1. Okay? Or, let's say, y is equals to, sorry, my gosh, this is not a rational equation kasi nga, wala siyang fractional part. So, you can do that. Or maybe, let's say, y is equals to x. Okay, sorry, hindi pwedeng mag-x squared, quadratic, tawag dito. But it's okay, it's quadratic equation, but still rational kasi nga mayroon siyang fraction part. Okay, so that is also a rational equation. Yun ang mahalagang part doon. It has the equal sign. Ng inequality, as opposed to equation, it is unequal. So ano ba yung mga simbolo ng inequality natin? Ganito, lower than, lesser than, greater than, equal to or lesser than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Yan ang mga pwede natin gamitin. So, pwedeng 2x, 1 over x, pwedeng y is equals to 2x over 3. I don't know, this kind of things. Okay? Ang function naman ngayon is, kailangan, function na siya. Like, for example, function of x is equals to 2x over 4. Or y, because usually, y and function of x is just the same. Okay? Y 3x plus 1 over x minus 1, kunwari. Or you have p function of x is equals to 2x over 8 plus x, kunwari lang. Okay? So, these are the main difference of rational expression, equation, inequality, and function. Okay? So, you can go ahead and read the entire module, but that is the summary of that. Yun lang ang summary niya. Yun ang pinaka main point niya. And it's a very easy lesson. Okay? So, let's go ahead and solve rational equations and inequality, which is on lesson 3. Let me put this down. So, lesson 3 na tayo, no? Solving na. Rational equation at saka inequality ba? Yes. And inequalities. Okay. So, for rational functions, okay. Let's review daw muna. Okay. How do we simplify this thing? Okay, sige, ano natin to? Sagutan natin to. Let me just copy this one. Let me just delete these things. Okay. So, sagutan natin tong una. Ang sabi niya, simplify the given rational expression. Number 1. Let me use a different color. Okay. So, x minus 2. X squared minus 4. But we know x squared minus 4 is a special type of expression. Tama man? Kasi ang ano niyan, ang factor niyan is actually x minus 2 over, ito siya, x minus 2, x plus 2. Tama man? So, makancel natin ang x minus 2. So, your final answer should be x plus 2. Sorry, may 1 sa taas. May naiwan dapat na 1 sa taas. Sorry. 1 over x plus 2. That should be your final answer. That is the simplified form of this rational expression. How about number 2? Multiply the given expressions. Okay, 3x plus 1. X squared minus 1 times. But, let's see daw kung baka meron tayong ano dito, ma-factor out. 3x squared plus x. Okay, ito, hindi na ma-factor out. This one is the same as this. It's a perfect square. Difference of perfect square. Difference of two perfect squares. I forgot the name. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. I forgot the name. Difference of two squares? Yun ba yung tamang tawag dito? This is special kasi square. Difference of two squares ata talaga to. I forgot. Guys, I forgot. I'm sorry. So anyway, itong x squared plus minus 1, ang factor niyan actually is, guys, i-factor ko na kaagad ha. Ang factor niyan is x minus 1, x plus 1. Tapos ito namang 3x squared, pwede natin i-factor out yung x. Tama man? Pwede natin ilabas yung x. So hindi siya magiging ganito, but rather x. So 3x plus 1. Okay, so marami na tayong makancel. Yan, makancel. Okay, so the final answer should be, wait lang. Walang natira sa taas. Okay, so 1 ang natira sa taas. And then we have x. Itong x na to. And then meron tayong x minus 1. This is the final, the simplified form of multiplying these two expressions. Itong number 3 at saka number 4, you can do this, I'm sure. Moving on. Let's go to solving this. Okay, so anyway guys, itong follow me na activity, you just really have to follow the instructions here. Tapos meron din siyang example dito. By the way guys, I really am sorry, dapat negative yan siya, hindi positive. This should be subtraction, not addition. Baka mahirapan kayo mag-solve kasi nga mali yung sign. I am sorry again, hindi na change yung module. But please change that. It should be negative. Okay, it should be minus. So anyway, isolve ko na lang siya dito na part para siguro madali nating maintindihan. So yung function natin is, original function is ano yun? Nakalimutan ko kaagad. 2 over x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 is equals to 1/2. Am I right? Okay. So anyway, ang una daw is find LCD. So para mahanapan natin yung LCD, ito siya, itong part na to, no? We know that this is a difference. Guys, pakihanap nga yung tamang term. I really think that this is a difference of two squares. So, x plus 1 yan siya, ang factors niya, at saka x minus 1. This one is x minus 1, and you just bring down 2. We are looking for the find LCD, ha, guys. I hope you know how to find for the LCD. So, ibig sabihin, guys, itong part na to, hindi na natin kailangan because meron na siya dito. So, our LCD should be x plus 1, x minus 1, and 2. Okay, so now that we have our LCD, what's next? Multiply both sides of the equation by its LCD. So, what will happen now is itong original natin na equation, we just have to multiply it by x plus 1, x minus 1, and 2. So, kung ito ay multiply mo dito na part, ang maiwan na lang is 2 times 2, right? Which is 4. And then, pag i-times mo naman siya dito, it will become, makancel lang yung x minus 1, may maiwan na 2 times x plus 1. Itong part naman, pag dito mo i-times, yung 2 lang yung makancel, so merong x plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay. So, ito na yung part na isi-simplify natin. So, how are we going to simplify that one? Just go ahead and solve. So, 4, kasi wala na siyang kasama. But this one, this should be distributed. So, 2x plus 2. But remember guys, negative to siya na sign. So, dapat magiging 2x minus 2 yan siya later. And then this one is, we all know that it's x squared minus 1. So, just put it down here. And then, kasi negative to, no? So, isama natin siya sa merong mga variables. So, it's going to be x squared. Paglipat natin itong negative 2x dito sa kabila, magiging positive. And then, 4 minus 2 is positive 2. Pero paglipat dito sa kabila, it is negative 2. So, negative 1 minus 2 is just negative 3. Okay, so, i-negative 3 ko na siya kaagad, guys, ha? I hope na follow ninyo yung simplify ko nito. Anyway, this one, para makuha natin yung roots na tinatawag natin. Guys, by the way, in Module 1, we have already identified or defined what is a root. It's just a solution. And a solution of a function is something that makes this function true. Okay, yun lang naman ang ibig sabihin ng root or solution. So what we're doing here is we're finding for a solution, a number, an integer or a real number that makes this equation true. Okay? So, now that we have the simplified form, kailangan natin makuha yung values ng x. So, ano ang factors ng negative 3 na pag i-add mo siya magiging positive 2? It's 3 at saka 1. Tama ba? I think that's it. So, how are we going to solve for this one? X plus 3 is equals to 0. X is equals to negative 3. X minus 1 is equals to 0. X is equals to positive 1. Okay, so how do we know that the values that we got is actually a root or something that makes our original equation true? So, our original equation is this one. Okay, so i-try muna natin yung negative 3. Does it make this equation true? So, 2, substitute lang natin. Negative 3 square minus 1. Okay, negative 3 minus 1 is equals to 1 half. Okay, so, simplifying, 2 over negative 3 square is 9 minus 1. Okay, ito, negative, okay, 1 over negative 4, no? Pero negative, it's going to be positive. So, i-positive na lang natin yan. Is equals to 1 half. Now, we have to simplify this part. Okay, so 2 over 9 minus 1 is 8, no? So 2 over 8 is the same as 1/4. Tama man? Okay, so 1/4 plus 1/4 is equals to 1 half. Okay, so 1/4 plus 1/4, ano nga ba? Cross multiplication lang, no? So 4 plus 4 over 16 is equals to 1 half. 4 plus 4, 8 over 16 is equals to 1 half. Ano ang 8 over 16? It's 1 half. Okay. So, as you can see, indeed, negative 3 is a solution for this function. How about 1? Try daw natin yung 1. Okay? So, try natin yung x is equals to 1. So, 2 over 1 square minus 1. 1 minus 1 is equals to 1 half. Automatically, hindi, no? Kasi 1 square minus 1 is 0. No, it cannot be. Kasi nga, again, any number divided by 0 is undefined. So, meaning, dito sa solution na nakuha mo, only this part is a real solution. Okay? Ito lang na part ang totoong a number that makes this function true. You should exclude x is equals to 1. Okay? So, that is how you solve this part. For rational inequality naman, almost the same thing, no? Ang issue lang dito is this one. It is inequality. Hindi siya equation. Okay. So anyway guys, I will leave that to you to solve. Kasi, alam nyo kung bakit? Aside from the fact na nandyan yung instructions at meron siyang example, andito rin yung solution sa baba. Okay? But I want you to try and solve that one. I-solve nyo muna bago ninyo tawag dito. Yes, nandyan yung mga solution. Bago ninyo tingnan yung solution, you have to try and solve first, okay? So, that is actually the last part of lesson 3. Ito na part, this will really, I hope you will really answer this part kasi it's an exercise. Pag na-solve niyo ito, guys, lahat ng to, you will feel empowered. Parang wow, ang expert ko mag-solve. Okay, so anyway, I really hope that you will solve this one. I hope you will watch this video and it will help you answer your modules. So next time we will be meeting for lesson 4, 5, 6, 7 of module 2. So thank you so much. I will thank you in advance for watching this video. Thank you. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Asyhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.